Hello, kamusta? My name is Rando and welcome back to yet another video review. Now, disclaimer for you Gunpla fans, I actually went on Instagram to have a poll if I should review other figures, other franchises whatsoever, and a lot of you guys actually went on with the idea and nobody opposed. So here I am right now reviewing the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Roadbuster.
We would never end the ship. We designed the damn thing.
Now, apologies are gonna be in order. The reason why I'm doing these kinds of video reviews is not to rush the Gunpla video reviews because I don't have a lot of Gunpla model kits right here right now. So let's dive into a different franchise for now. So as you can see right here, this is Roadbuster in his vehicle form. Now, unfortunately, some of you Transformers fans, which is the Michael Bay verse kind of Transformers, this is totally show inaccurate. There is no mounted machine gun here. There are no mechanical components present on the car whatsoever. So it is not as all accurate as it is to the Dark of the Moon movie. But I will tell you this, if you want a very screen accurate look of Roadbuster, you can always buy the Studio series. But here we are, going to be reviewing a very old figure. So I'm not really sure the year when it was released because as far as I know, Dark of the Moon was probably released around, when was it? I think it was 2013, 2014, so on and so forth. And Roadbuster right here is part of the group of robots called the Autobots. So majority of my viewers might be Transformers fans, so I'm not going to be diving deep into that kind of stuff. You know, the Autobots being the good guys of the planet Cybertron and the Decepticons being the tyrannic evil robots of the planet Cybertron. However, Roadbuster here, he is, let's just say he is far from what I've originally seen from the cartoon concepts, because Roadbuster right here is in his stock car mode, in his vehicle mode. We're going to be getting into his robot form later on. So as you can see right here, this is the actual NASCAR of Dale Earnhardt Jr., if I'm saying that correctly, and it is colored into one of his most traditional looking stock cars. And if you are not familiar with stock cars, those are the, if you have watched Cars 1, Lightning McQueen, Chick Hicks, and some of the other stock cars that are racing, this is what it really looks like in real life. So as you can see right here, very accurate and very similar to what a stock car actually looks like in real life. So I apologize if the figure is, well, the paint apps are not in a very good condition right now. This is a very tiny figure, very old figure that I have in my collection. It's been years ever since I have been playing with this thing. So as you can see right here, you got some stickers for, let me focus on that there. So you got stickers for the number 88. That is the number 88 from Dale Earnhardt's racing car. So you can see right here, you got the sponsors of AMP National Guard, as per usual with NASCAR vehicles. And you can see the logo right here and the Chevrolet logo. And I believe from the box, this is an officially licensed Chevrolet product. You know, like, it's licensed by Chevrolet to be used by Hasbro. So you can see right here a very faint resemblance of, come on, focus baby, of the NASCAR logo. It's very cool that they actually painted it very cleanly on this, and unfortunately enough for me, most of the decals on this vehicle mode are not actually chipping away, but somehow some of it are chipping off. As you can see right here, you got the signature of Dale Earnhardt Jr. faintly already chipping away from the roof, and you got some white paint that are getting bruised up. So unfortunately, due to age, this figure is, I would not say in a bad condition, but it just shows its age, you know. So one of the things that I actually love about this figure is that there are some components, excuse the robot kibble, as you can see there's Roadbuster's head right there. There's this part right here where you can just, oh, this is harder than it seems, hold on. So for those of you who want a kind of show accurate deluxe class Roadbuster looking kind of vehicle in the toy, there you go. You can actually transform some of the parts, well, some of the parts are not perfectly transformed. You can transform some of the parts to actually relive on how Roadbuster looks like in the movie. So again, it is not as screen accurate as you expected it to be, but again, this is an older deluxe class figure. It's not as show accurate as the Studio series, in which why it's called Studio series. It aims for the toy forms. Hold on. So if you want a screen accurate looking toy, you can go ahead and get the Studio series for yourself, because this deluxe class figure right here is what most fans would call the Mechtech. And what do you mean by Mechtech? It comes with this kind of weapon. You can actually, as you can see right here, there's a hole right here that you can tab this gun. But we're gonna be talking about this more in the transformation, and this, it's not the best looking weapon integration into the car mode. You know, it kind of looks goofy. You can also tab this onto the side right here. Right, it won't tab in, but you can always tab it on the side with a hole right here. And what I've noticed is that these holes on the side right here, hold on, let me focus on that. There we go. The holes on the side right here are not spring loaded, but if you go onto the top, it is actually kind of spring loaded. It goes back to the top. This just sinks in there, and I'm kind of, you know, that was one of my pet peeves about this figure. Some features are not as cool as it is in the robot mode. And as you can see right here, the paint apps on this figure is actually really cool. It is accurate to Dale Earnhardt's car, and I've noticed that some of the robot kibble that is present in the car actually kind of resembles some of the minor parts that you would see in a stock car. And as you can see, transparent windows here, very cool that they use transparent windows, but again, kind of useless if you don't have anything in there besides, you know, a scrap of plastic to resemble a robot, in which this guy actually transforms. So without further ado, I'm gonna be trying my best to transform this figure. It's not gonna be according to the step, because it's been a long time and I've already thrown the boxes, because I was a little shit back then and I never cared about the boxes of Transformers. So I'm gonna try my best to actually transform this figure on camera. So first, what I would like to do is untab this back part, and I'll just leave it like there. These sides right here, just push it down. And for the arms, to just loosen everything up, and yes, these are the arms. Just, come on. This is painful. Just pull it to the side like so. So you just pull on the legs, but before pulling that, so this head would not come off, you split that apart, and now you have a resemblance of a leg right there. Now for the top part, you just pull it up like this. And for the whole torso, you actually have to rotate it 180 degrees. Push it here. So as you can see right here, there are some... wait, let's fold this up for now. Actually, this is meant to be folded up. So you can see right here, Roadbuster has these kinds of slits or tabs that these parts right here slides into and kind of locks into place. So there we go. As you can see right here, it is a solid connection. So let me just zoom out the camera a little bit. Okay, so there we go. We just zoomed it out a little bit. So for the chest, just close these chest piece like this. And for the arms, just pull on these side tabs right here and fold it up. And these, and as you can see right here, just bend the elbows a little bit to give it that resemblance of an arm. And then for the other side, just do the same for the other side. And now to give the arms a much more natural look, just pull it up like so. I guess you pull it up. I believe you pull it up. And for the head, you rotate it around like so. And as you can see, we almost have the complete look for Roadbuster. Twist the legs around like so. Oh yeah, this part right here also clips in, but it's not the most solid on my kit. On my figure. I need more Gunpla. So you have here Roadbuster with his legs complete, and Jesus, he does skip leg day, does he? And for the missiles, tap in, come on. For the missile pods right here, the missile launchers, just fold it out like that. So you can see, same with the other side, you just pull it off and transform. And here we have Deluxe Class Roadbuster fully transformed into his robot mode, and I gotta say, This is a very cool looking figure, even though I haven't touched this in a long while. That kind of sounded wrong. Even though I haven't seen this in a long while, Roadbuster still looks pretty cool in my opinion. However, as much as it is, he is not fairly show accurate. I mean, the proportions are kind of off. He doesn't. He obviously skipped leg day. And I gotta say, for its age, I am still really impressed on how Hasbro was able to design Roadbuster for a Mechtech figure. So as you can see right here, his head is actually pretty much what you see from the movie, but yet again, in proportionate wise, it is not as fairly accurate as it is to the movie. Now, a little bit of a background about Roadbuster. He is a part of the, for those of you who haven't watched, he is one of the Autobots who is actually a part of the group called Wreckers. They are a three-man group in the Autobots. Not entirely sure about the history of the Wreckers, but here it is what it says according to the live-action film. However, there is a distinction about the Wreckers in the different alternate timelines in the Transformers universe. So go ahead and check out this website for more information. And all of them are stock cars, you know, Leadfoot, Topspin, and I believe Roadbuster is the leader of the Wreckers. But unfortunately, those guys deserve way more screen time than what we have for Shia LaBeouf and most of the humans in the movie.
They're assholes.
I mean, all what Roadbuster did in the movie was yell at a rocket launching pad,
You're gonna risk the lives of all me mates.
munch away a Decepticon,
In
and
the ship.
pathetically enough, free Optimus Prime from a construction crane. Now, I do get that some of you, that Transformers are big robots that can get entangled into some random shit, but come on.
Optimus! Wreckers! We're coming! Hurry! They're triggering the pillars!
The time that they mostly had in the movie is that they were all in their vehicle forms, shooting Shockwave with reckless intent, and just driving around the city not in their robot forms. I mean, come on. If we're gonna sponsor some vehicles and it's a Transformers movie, might as well name the movie Cars. So what would be my comment about this figure all in all? So as you can see right here, there he is fully transformed, and I gotta say, this guy is kind of like, oh god. I mean, the backpack's not the worst on this guy, you know, it could have been worse, but I do get why the reason for these deluxe class figures to have these kinds of compromises for the transformation, because they're deluxe figures, you know, they are much cheaper and much simpler to transform than your standard Voyager, Supreme, or even Leader class figures. On top of that, this guy is a Mechtech figure, so which is a very old figure. So we're gonna be talking about his accessory for now. This right here is his gun, which can also cleverly transform into a chainsaw. But if you let go, it transforms back into a gun, so 0 out of 10. So which this gun, you can actually put it in the side tabs right here. And strangely enough, it tabs much easier here because these parts slide in. Wait, hold on. As you can see, these parts slide in much easier than it is in the car mode because there's much more space in the robot mode than there is to the car. So this is the only way you can actually display the gun fully into the robot mode. And I didn't even push it much deeper.
That's what she said!
I mean, the Studio Series has done better, obviously, than what we usually have with the old Mechtech figures, but I gotta say, for its age, this figure is pretty much holding up. As you can see, it is solid right here. There are no floppy parts, well, except for these pieces right here, which tends to untap if you're handling this figure, and it kind of gets annoying, but, you know, just don't handle him like a dirty ape and just go along with it. So as you can see right here, before we get into the articulation, you may notice that Roadbuster's head is kind of transparent. Well, apparently it is. Excuse me, my voice cracked right there. And this guy is what we call light piping. So if you don't know what light piping is, it's basically pretty much common in most Transformers figures, you know. Light piping, when this is directly under any source of light, you know, weak, strong, or even faint, this eye reflects all that light outward, giving it that very robotic and glowy eye look. So talking about the mechanical details on this guy, the face stands out the most. As you can see right here, if I angle it just right, the eye kind of glows, reflecting on how effective the light piping is and how it works pretty well with the figure's face. So as you can see right here, Roadbuster's got that very cool looking mechanical look with his face. He's got that kind of resemblance of a cap right there, and some sunglasses and some long hair in the back. I don't know if my camera is gonna pick that up, but as you can see right here on the back of his head, there's kind of like a resemblance of a hair right there, kind of giving it that NASCAR fan kind of look. And much of the mechanical detail here is very decent for a deluxe class figure, although some parts are very plain. Some parts are very bland, but yet again, this is a deluxe class figure, no use in complaining, and get your head out of your ass, this is a deluxe class figure. As you can see right here, we got a logo of the Autobot symbol, which is fairly printed enough for its size. Well, this is not the smallest Autobot symbol you can actually get with most figures. And for some vehicle components, the wheels can still freely spin, and I actually did kind of forget about that. This guy can roll pretty well in vehicle mode. So I am not actually disappointed with this deluxe class figure because it's basically what you get for most old Mechtech figures, deluxe class figures. But hey, some of the deluxe figures are the worst. Be honest with me, don't lie. With the slight complaint that I only have about this figure is the back. Like, come on, there's gotta be a better way to integrate this back cable, but none of that shit right here. It's a deluxe class figure, and again, if you don't want to hear me complaining about an old figure, go ahead and get the Studio Series. Probably sooner or later I might get those, I don't know, because I love Gunpla more than this kinds of figures, but I do miss collecting Transformers. So as for articulation, we're gonna be diving in. His head can actually spin 360 degrees with no problems whatsoever, and it kind of like, it doesn't move forward and back. It can look up that far and down that far. This missile pods are on a hinge joint here. There's also a hinge here. It can bend like that and do some of that shifting movements like so. And strangely enough, the sides of the car, let me just try prying it open, opens to reveal nothing. It's just like a mechanical component in there, so nothing much that there is to it, but it kind of completes the robot mode look all by itself. So the chest piece right here can kind of like open and reveals more mechanical details. That is actually pretty cool. The shoulders can move up, not so much, and it can move down only that far. These pieces are on a hinge joint. This is on a flap. The wheels can spin. For the elbows, it can bend only that far, and there's a elbow. The elbow can actually swivel outward and not much inward because it's being hindered by this card kibble. And unfortunately there's no waist bend or any waist swivel whatsoever, so that's kind of disappointing. You get a very high kick for this guy, and unfortunately it cannot move back that far since it's being hindered by the kibble. It can actually not do the splits, again being hindered by some of the vehicle's kibble. And yet again, these wheels right here, as you can see, there are some parts in the thighs right here where it is on a rivet, and I'm not really sure if it can go outward because I haven't tried it, and it's really difficult to put these wheels down. So yeah, I'm not gonna try it anytime soon. So the knees on this guy can actually bend only that far there, and also the thigh can also swivel a bit to give a much more organic posing when you want this guy to be displayed in an action pose. And the feet can point, and the feet are kind of like designed to be in a pivot to give it a much more dynamic and natural look. But unfortunately, the pose on this guy is kind of limited. So posability of this guy is on a fair amount. It's not too much that there is to it, especially this is just a deluxe class figure, but it is satisfyingly good enough to pose it in a various different way. So as for size comparison, here he is beside a standard 1/144 scale high-grade Universal Century model kit, and of course an SD Gundam model kit. As you can see, for a deluxe class figure, he is kind of taller than any 1/144 scale model kit. So my final verdict for this figure right here, I'm gonna be giving it a 7 out of 10. Now, before some of you people might protest and be like, we want the Gunpla video reviews back. I know, but I don't want to rush it too soon because most of my model kits are just few. I don't have that much model kits in my collection, but don't worry, that's gonna be coming back around the corner soon. Let me just try something different right here. So as of now, I would like to say that this figure is very recommendable for those who want an old Mechtech figure. Now, unfortunately, I have no idea what shop you can get this in, but there might be some around in Manila online, so I'm not really sure about that, but you can go ahead and look for yourselves. But frankly enough, I actually love how they gave Roadbuster a live action look. I just wish that sooner or later there would be reboots of live action movies from the Transformers franchise to give the robots more justice than what they deserve from Michael Bay, you know. More screen time, less human character development, and more focusing on the robots, because it's called Transformers for a reason. Have you even seen Bumblebee the movie? So again, my name is Rando. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you guys in the next video review. And as always, stay safe. Paalam!
Let's get some! You got that right.
You know, one thing that I mostly hate about Michael's base Transform is that some of the characters don't even have any lines, such as this guy right here. Review coming soon.